That just seems wrong. Ted Rall, political cartoonist, syndicated columnist, co-host of TMI with the great, the one and only Man. You also have a show with John Kiriakou that, for whatever reason, I can never remember the name of. What is the name of the show, Ted? And when does that show appear?
It's called Deprogram, 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday, Eastern Time.
I wanted to say decoding. That's why I didn't say anything. Because I was like, okay, decoding sounds wrong.
Decoding sounds good. I like it.
You like it? How you doing, man? You doing okay?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am doing all right. I'm doing all right. I was going into the Brian Kilmeade thing. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to play this for you because I want to get your take on it.
Great.
All of these right wingers are making lists now saying, oh my God, somebody said something bad about Charlie Kirk. They got Charlie Kirk killed. Okay, whatever, man. There's that. Kilmeade goes on Fox News and says this about the homeless. And I would imagine Fox News is probably in New York. So they're in your part of town. Listen to what he says.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get...
Shout outs for the black prop that they got sitting there. There's that. 2, Kilmeade making the argument, just kill them all. Just kill them. Lethal injection, involuntary lethal injection. Kill them all. Now, he apologized for that. But my point of view is, why are you apologizing for that? That's your real point of view. And as I keep pointing out, I like my sociopaths or psychopaths to let me know that they're psychopaths in advance. Give me your thoughts, Ted. What are you thinking?
Well, look, as someone who yaps for a living, as do you, I'm sympathetic. I think we have to have the right to say stupid shit, and then retract it by apologizing for it. So, if he withdrew it, he apologized, and it's a little bit sophistry to say, well, he doesn't really mean it. If he apologizes, what more do you want, right? Pound of flesh. Obviously, it's not the kind of shit that most people think or much less say. It's really crazy. But, if he apologized, I don't think he should be fired or anything like that. I mean, I think, let him keep talking. But it is an insane thought. And it sort of shows like how in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, how, the right wing is really, they're psyched, man. They're happy that Charlie Kirk got killed. This is a big opportunity for them. This is an opportunity for them the way that October 7th was an opportunity for Israel. They're loving it. They're working this angle. I mean, it is in the same way that the Israelis say that the war began on October 7th. Poor innocent Israel minding its own business, not doing any harm to all. That the mean Palestinians suddenly started picking on them for no good reason on October 7th, 2023, for the very first time ever. And the Israelis just had to defend themselves. That's what the right wingers are acting like now. They're like, oh, like this political violence. Like, what's with that? Like, oh my God, all we wanted to do was talk to the left and engage them and talk to them peacefully. We never threatened them. We never censored them. We don't believe in cancel culture. But since they're doing this, now let's censor them and let's attack them. It's a war. Never mind, the facts, which are that, first of all, this is one guy who killed Charlie Kirk. It's not part of some fucking terror cell or any kind of, there's no co-conspirators. There's no organization. It's a lone gunman by definition. It's a lone wolf. But on top of that, never mind the fact that right-wingers kill a lot more left-wingers than the other way around. And let me tell you, as someone who's been censored, canceled, threatened with death repeatedly, had to have my own FBI protection repeatedly, it's like, let me tell you, like, the violence mostly goes from right to left, not from left to right. And the statistics bear that out, even from right-wing organizations like the ADL. Even they admit that. So they're just making shit up. And unfortunately, liberals, Democrats, progressives, we're not standing up loud enough and just being like, you guys are lying sacks of shit. And you guys are psyched that Charlie Kirk is dead. This is like, you guys are working it. And it is It's absurd. We should just be like, you guys are ridiculous and you look ridiculous. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, basically, this is what they're like, is like the steroided goon cops who beat up suspects who are on the ground, handcuffed, with 3 dudes standing on top of them. And they're like, boom, boom, stop resisting, stop resisting. And the guy's like, I'm not resisting. I'm handcuffed. I'm on the ground. I can't breathe. Stop resisting. That's what they're doing. I mean, they're working it. And like, we have to have this conversation. Like anything they have to say is to be taken seriously. It's a joke and should be called out.
Yeah. And I have been. I hate both because both have been trying to use this as a political cudgel. But the right wing seem to be glorifying his death. They seem to, on some level, like it because they can use him and fashion him in a way that he could necessarily be fashioned in real life. Killing me, though, I think I disagree with you on that. The right wing has been running around, and I didn't make this case. They made this case. The right wing has been running around taking lists of people to get them fired when they said anything bad about Charlie Kirk. And it's like, dude, he was a degenerate, racist human being. What good can you say about him if you're not a degenerate, racist, homophobe, anti-immigrant person? There is not much you can say good about him. Now, the right has been raising him to this level of a civil rights leader, which tells me more about them than it does about Charlie Kirk. Exactly. That's my point. So they've been running around trying to get
the guy was
fired.
the guy was a mega douche. Okay, I mean, and like, if that said, mega douches shouldn't be shot in the neck while giving speeches on college.
Absolutely.
Campuses.
Agreed.
Douchery is not a capital offense.
Agreed. Yeah, you can be a degenerate human being. It's allowed in the First Amendment, right?
Yeah.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is their argument, the thesis that they have been running with, and even the argument that Donald Trump is trying to make, because Donald Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Vance, Carlson, all of these people are going to be speakers at his funeral. They are making the argument that left-wing violence and the things that the left wing says was the reason for Charlie Kirk being murdered. Okay.
Ridiculous.
If that is your argument, killing me, they're saying innuendo is enough. Now, I can play the speeches of Trump. I can play the speeches of even Charlie Kirk, who thought it was funny that Nancy Pelosi's husband got beat with a hammer nearly with an inch of his life. Meaning, Kirk was a defender of the Second Amendment and even argued that if kids get killed, that is worth having a Second Amendment. Okay. He was a strong defender of the Second Amendment. They're saying hate speech was the reason for being killed. Well, Charlie Kirk said there is no such thing as hate speech. Meaning there's a quote for pretty much everything that they've been attacking the left on. I'm trying to make the point of saying Killamede wasn't just using innuendo. He is openly calling for the murder of homeless people.
Right. And homeless people, and let's be clear here, right? Homeless people are the ultimate victims of capitalism. Literally.
Yes.
I mean, and so they're not people we should look down on. They are the reason we should look down upon ourselves as a society. That we're not, I mean, failure is too good for it. We are deliberately letting people sleep outside and starve to death and die and get diseases because we don't want to house them. In a city where, NPR reported recently that over half of all rent-stabilized apartments are warehoused empty because landlords don't want to rent them. And so this is like while people are sleeping outside. I mean, think of the absurdity. There's no housing shortage at all, right? I mean, the city's empty, really. Yeah. No one lives here, really. I'm not sure there's 8 million people here. There might be 4. And so it's so to look at those people with contempt. No, we should be looking at them with compassion. I mean, these people, a lot of them call themselves Christians. I mean, what did Christ say? Take people into your home, house them, take the poor, give them clothes, give them a roof over their head, give them food and water. I mean, that's not, that's not what these people are all about at all. No. Look, I do agree that, that people don't really have a right to sleep outside if there's good, safe, like decent housing and care available for them indoors. There isn't, right? So there's a big if here. The shelters aren't safe. They're terrible. If we were to create a really great infrastructure to bring people in, rehabilitate them, maybe help them with substance abuse problems or mental health issues if those exist. In some cases, they do. It's like, in that case, it's like, look, I'm sorry, it's 10 degrees below zero. I want the NYPD. Don't want the NYPD. I want social workers to go out, but kind of like ultimately, like, you are coming with us, and then bring them into these new facilities. But these facilities don't exist now. So, so it's kind of like you have to spend, hundreds of millions of dollars to create these spaces. I would start by creating these spaces with eminent domain and seizing these empty apartments that are being warehoused. It's like, look, if a landlord doesn't, like in a rural community, if a house is abandoned, eminent domain will seize that house and either tear it down or rehabilitate or use it for something.
It's not that simple to it.
And that's what they should do in a city. Like,
it's not that simple.
If you're not using it, if you don't want to use it, let me use it. I'll use it.
It's not that simple. And I didn't know this until talking to Malik. And what Malik pointed out was that there are zones, and the way that the buildings and everything else, and let's say DC, let's use DC as an example, that there are areas and zones where certain properties can be built and certain properties won't be built. And then in areas where they may build a shelter, you get liberals screaming, not in my backyard. I don't want these people on drugs. I don't want these people who are mentally ill living near me in a way where I have an apartment, I pay X amount for the apartment, and you stick somebody with a mental illness into the other apartment. That is the way people think, right? And so it's like, some of the zoning laws don't allow you to build certain facilities in certain areas. Okay, so that might need to be scrapped. 2, people are going to take issue with.
By the way, New York City doesn't have zoning like that.
Oh, they don't. See, DC does.
You can put a homeless shelter anywhere.
And he even made the point that when they go to people and say, well, look, we're going to move you to this location, they're like, I don't want to go. I live here. Meaning the people would just say, I don't want to go. I don't want to move into the boonies. I don't want to move into the suburbs or wherever you're trying to take me.
Well, I don't know that we should. I don't know that we should. I mean, in New York City, anyway, you don't have to move people to the suburbs. I mean, literally the biggest vacancy rate in New York City is in the most expensive zip code on the entire East Coast of the United States.
Billionaires Row?
Yeah, 5th, Madison, and Park Avenues in Midtown and on the Upper East Side are empty. Nobody lives there. It's all just, it's like, I think their occupancy rate is like 20% or 12%. Wow. It's literally all secondary and tertiary homes. It's investment properties for foreigners. It's Chinese people, it's Saudis, it's Russians. It used to be Russians. So nobody lives there. And if nobody lives there, I don't have any problem violating the civil rights of a homeless person who, I'm like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to live at Park and 56th Street in this doorman building. It's 5 in the morning. It's 5 degrees outside. You're not sleeping out here. You're gonna come here and moving on up to a deluxe apartment on the east side, right? That's what we're gonna do here. So, and I mean, but the point is that, like, you have to create the infrastructure, and but I'm saying you can. In New York, you can. I mean, I understand what Malik is saying about DC, but and there's certainly, look, the plan is always like, we're gonna grab these people and send them out way to the sticks, Staten Island or Canarsie, outer Brooklyn. I know, but that's not what we should be doing. I mean, really.
No, I accept that. Yes, agreed. Well, I think, was it Nevada? They had that program where they were.
I don't like warehouse departments. I don't like warehouse departments in a place with high rents.
Well, I didn't think they were warehouse. From my understanding, in Nevada, it was this almost like a camp, and they had people with drug abuse, psychiatrists. All of these things were kind of on standby, like right there in the spot. People, they weren't forced to go to the place, but if they did go to the place, they couldn't use drugs when they were at the place. Meaning, the entire point of the place was to get people back on their feet.
Yeah, no, I like the dorm idea. Basically, it's like where you have all the help, on site, and you're going to have to triage these people, based on how, what kind of problems they have. Some people, all they really seriously need is just a place to live. That's it.
Yes.
And hook them up with a job, help them find a job. They're off and running. I've seen that. But other people are a hot mess, and then there's gradients in between.
Agreed.
And so, some people will never be able to work. and that's okay. We don't need everyone to work. You know, we don't have a room for, we don't have a system that's created for full employment, and we don't need it.
Agreed. No, 1,000% agreed. See, that's always the most challenging argument for the left, right? It says if a person doesn't want to work, should society help those people either way? My answer is yes. I don't want people living on the streets. In fact,
Right.
I would be willing to pay somebody to do nothing as opposed to doing something that's harmful to society as a whole.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
not everybody agrees with that.
If you paid me the same salary to work versus not work, I'd choose to work, because
Agreed.
look at, and you know, if you don't believe me, look at prisoners. I mean, they're basically not paid, right? I mean, they're paid nominal sums, like cents, literally. They all choose to, everyone's got a job in prison, even in prison systems where it's not required. Everyone wants a job. Gets them out of their cell, gives them something to do. That's what human beings want. They want to be useful.
Agreed. No, 1,000% agree. I don't buy this argument that people don't want to work. They're just be lazy. I don't buy that premise at all.
Very few.
Yes. No, I agree. There would be a percentage, obviously, but I don't entirely care about that percentage until it gets to the point where it handicaps the society. This, to make the point about that you were making about ideological balance, the economists put this chart up. The red represents the right wing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they are the main purveyors of political violence in the United States.
Yes. And of dehumanizing rhetoric. I mean, I was thinking about this yesterday, Jamal. Like, in terms of, okay, so there's a, you know, you and I have often decried like Trump derangement syndrome and like just the ridiculous rhetoric that comes out of the Democrats about,
Yes.
you know, how Trump is Hitler and the devil incarnate and all this stuff. But it is true that there is a difference between right-wing demonization of liberals, the left, progressives, etc., and left and the opposite. And the difference is that for the right stuff, when the right does it, it's very personal and it's very existential. So the threats basically the fear-mongering basically goes along the lines of the left wants to rape your children, force them to transition to another gender, get rid of God, your religion.
They want to kill God.
Go into your house, remove your guns if you have any, and if you don't have any, they're going to look around for your guns and they're going to rape your wife while they're there. But it's personal. It's like, it's existential. Like, they're coming to take away the things that you love. They're coming into your house. They're going to fuck with your life.
Yeah.
Liberals, and this is part of the reason why liberals are not as effective in communicating as the right. Their shit is airy and theoretical, and they'll be like, you know, democracy is in danger. Our norms, our rules-based order, which are all words that don't mean anything, and so there are these airy conceptual, like, you know, threats, like, oh, like, you know, so the way we've always done things is in danger, and everyone's like, so. It's like,
yeah.
No one cares. It's like, I don't care about democracy. I don't think we have a democracy now. So like,
no, I don't think we do either.
So like, you know, I mean, nobody cares. So I think that's different. I mean, you know, when Democrats are agitated about Donald Trump, it's because they hate his style, his attitude, his rhetoric, his crassness. When they see MAGA people, they think they're tacky, they're gross, they're dumb, they're uneducated.
Yeah.
When MAGA people are looking at the left, they're thinking, these leftists, they're coming for us. They want to hurt us and the people we love. That's different. I mean, you know, it's like if I were fear-mongering from the left to the right the way that they do, I'd say, listen, whiteys, you think their ICE is gonna not come for you when they're done with all the people of color? They are. They're gonna send you to a fucking gulag, and they're gonna send you to fucking El Salvador, and you and your kids are gonna be beaten to death in fucking South Sudan. I mean, but that's not like, and I kind of think that's true. But
that's not the way they talk about it.
But they're not. But they don't. Nobody talks like that. So,
no.
So it is different, and I think that's why, you know, it triggers insane people on the right, get triggered more because there's this constant din of like, the left is coming to kill you kind of rhetoric as opposed to the other side.
Which they've been ratcheting it up even to like 12 recently.
And by the way, and again, this is really not to say that I'm okay with, a lot of the stuff that like liberals say about Republicans and stuff. A lot of it's just stupid, and and it's a lot of it is
ineffective.
wrong.
Yeah, and ineffective.
Yeah.
Sonny, I gotta hit this one. Sonny Tony. So we are forced to work. Yes, you are forced to work. You cannot look, even if you had a plot of land and you took that plot of land and built grapes and bananas and everything else, you just kind of lived off subsistence. There will be a tax man that will come to your house and knock on your door and ask you for taxes.
Yeah,
and
your property taxes.
Yes, at the very least, your property
if you're
taxes.
an aristocrat and you inherited a plot of land that produces beautiful food that you could live off of, they're going to tax you.
They're going to tax you for it. It's just the way it works. The entire point of it is for you to be within the system. There is, unless you're living in the boonies in the desert somewhere.
Yep.
Yes, you are forced to earn something where you can pay that tax man to leave you alone. There's always a veiled gun behind it. The libertarians are not wrong.
They're not wrong.
No, there's always a gun behind the tax man that is going to take your stuff one way or the other. So yes, you're forced to work. You're forced to be a part of this particular political system.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they've been ratcheting that stuff up to 12. And I keep wondering, it's like, okay, well, what are you trying to do with this? Like, what is the objective here? Like, you can try to deify Charlie Kirk, okay.
Yeah, they're trying to do that. Oh my God, the memes of like, Jesus hugging him and
oh God, it's so gross.
Give me a fucking break.
It's so gross. And to make it even worse,
they want to make his birthday a national holiday, and I'm like, hey, can we have like, how about if we're going to do that? Can we have like 65,000 national holidays for all the Gazans that have been killed by the Israelis? I mean, that'll be great. We'll never have to work.
Well, you saw that the number, Albanese was talking about that number being 680,000. And her point was, there's no way to confirm it or deny it because nobody is on the ground where they can actually detail it one way or the other. And even if the number is half of that, that is grotesque.
It's got to be about, I think you're looking at about 300 to 400,000 people. It's got to be.
Right. Out of 2.2 million. We're talking about like 20%, if not higher. It's
got to
just
be.
Astonishing numbers.
It's just got to be. I mean, so many people don't leave their homes in situations like this. And then the building is crumbled and their bodies are underneath the rubble.
I want to show you where I think Trump is taking this. So this is, and the reason why they're echoing this, because if you look at the political branch, they're echoing the same sentiment over and over and over again. He already has military, by the way, in U.S. cities. There's that.
Yep.
And then this.
And then women, in many cases, women, you can see the professional agitators. I had one the other night. I had 4 the other night, all in one group, total phonies. That started to scream when I got into a restaurant, something with Palestine. I said, well, I'm doing a great job for peace in the Middle East. I should get lots of awards for that, right? With the Abraham Accords and everything else. But a woman just stood up and started screaming. And she got booed out of the place, too. There were a lot of people in the restaurant. I went there to show how safe, and it was safe. I mean, the woman is just a mouthpiece. All she was a paid agitator. And you have a lot of them. And I've asked Pam to look into that in terms of RICO, bringing RICO cases against the criminal RICO, because they should be put in jail.
Do you know who he's talking about? Code Pink.
I know about this. Yeah.
He's talking about Code Pink. Code Pink, talking about Code Pink as a paid agitator. Code Pink has been doing this task and this job for God knows how long at this particular point. I've had
to both Democrats and Republicans, I might add.
Yes, they don't care which, right? Their whole thing is you're murdering people in Gaza. That's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And the Abraham Accords, just this way of Israeli supremacy in the region. It's nonsense that this is some kind of peace thing. I mean, is this where you think they're going with this? I mean, he's told a reporter the other day, well, maybe we should investigate you because you're at ABC and you say bad things about me, and that's hate speech. Or Charlie Kirk said there is no such thing as hate speech.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as Antifa, by the way. I mean, Antifa does not exist. There's a tendency. There's some people who dress up in black sometimes and go to protests. There's no Antifa organization. There's no
right,
and there's no. You can't get a membership card. There's no meetings, online or offline. It's just not true. it's a fever dream of the right. These terror cells, and I mean, they're trying to capitalize on the ignorance, I think, of the American people in general, but also, certainly of conservative adherents, where they're looking for Soviets under the bed, and they're really worried. They're seriously scared, and it's unconscionable. It's really dangerous, right? I mean, if you talk about, you want to talk about dangerous political rhetoric, here it is. I mean, this right now, this is the ultimate, I know what I am, but I know what you are, but what am I kind of moment, right? I mean, the very people who are yelling the loudest about political violence are themselves, in that process, guilty of spreading very dangerous rhetoric, that encourages political violence. It's terrifying, actually.
Yeah, and it starts at the top with the president. Ted, I'm going to let you go because we're hitting the 10 o'clock and you have the show to do. Ted Rall, political cartoonist, syndicated columnist, co-host Manila Chan's TMI with the co-host Manila Chan and Ted Rall. They will start up at 10 a.m., so they're going to start right now. Ted, and deprogram with John Kariakou. You're fantastic.
5 o'clock Eastern time. Yep.
Oh, what time is it?
At 5 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday.
5 o'clock Eastern.
Cool.
Have a good one, man. Enjoy your show. Have a good show.
Thanks, Paul. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We have come to the